Buongiorno, signor Wick.
Ciao, Angelo.
Welcome back to Rome. Magari ha bisogno di un abito nuovo.
I am.
49. Tell me, Mr. Wick, is this a formal event or a social affair?
Social.
And is this for day or evening?
I need one for day and one for night.
And what style?
Italian.
How many buttons?
2.
Trousers?
Tapered.
How about the lining?
Tactical.
I don't play video games, I never have. That analogy's been made several times. The vibe of it is definitely meant to be that, but not because of the video game thing. It's more the graphic novel, it's more the immersion into it.
It's definitely an element and something that the director Chad Stahelski talks about in some of the gun sequences. Definitely the way you follow John, but you're not really doing first-person shooter, but there is definitely a heightened hyper-reality to some of the action.
It's instead of being first-person shooter, as you'd think, we just call it reverse first-person shooter. Like, technically it's an objective pull, and that kind of sucks you in, and it was meant just to keep you in, and you can do two things when you do an action. You can sit there and live and chop between it, or you can pull. I believe, like the Jackie Chan theory of it should be a running fight, as they say. Keep it discovering things and reveal things as we go. It keeps it a little bit more kinetic than just shaking the camera or leaving it there and just doing fast editing. You just have to spend time finding the right locations that are conducive to that. Big crowds, big audiences, big spaces, so you can pull through and have that maze-like vibe. It's tricky logistically, because you have to hide the lights, you have to light sets, you have to pull the crew out of the way, you have to have, a ton of, it's like a dance, performance. You have to rehearse quite a bit, and you can run into repetitive natures. You can do certain things. And you're locked into it. In editorial, 6 months later, you can't go, oh, Jesus, we should have shot something else. You just gotta go, okay, this is what we do, so make sure it's exciting. So we spend a lot of time rehearsing and double-checking our work.
Let's go.
There's a lot of judo and jiu-jitsu in the gunplay, so we call it gun fu. So it's, and to me, the set pieces all have a different kind of color. I think the pencil fight is very different than, say, the sequence in the catacombs.
I'm not gonna lie to you, because I've done it so much, I don't see it as, I see it as action. I see it as a ballet, I see it as things like, all gun fights, I think, are violent. If you go back even to Peck and Paw, the Wild Bunch. We just do it all in a frame, we show cause and effect, as opposed to cut to you shooting, cut to me going, ah! And it almost takes the effect of the, the emotionality of it away. So when you see it all wide, yeah, it becomes, you get jarring because you actually see it all happening. Like, oh wow, he really did shoot the guy, he really did flip the guy.
I think also there's a lot of different things going on with the sound design. Like the fight with Common and I, there's like no music. And then the commentary that's going on with the music in the fights, like say from the museum sequence, or even what's going on in the opening car sequence and the fights there. So I think there's a lot of articulations and variety in it.
Artistically, and people have noticed that we've been a lot more comedic in a certain way in this one, and I think that's very, very important. I certainly didn't want to do 2 hours of violence. That's not, I couldn't sit through that. So you try to build them up with a little bit of the wow factor of, oh, well, this is really Keanu Reeves doing this. Well, I'm more into that. It's like the Jackie Chan mode. I want to see my actor do it, and I want you to be impressed by Keanu on a physical level. But then I want to let you off the hook by going, okay, pencil, okay, then you laugh, then Comet hits him. Then the stair fall is intentionally done like that to make you go, and people say, well, John Wick's really good with gun, why can't he get out of the way of a car? I'm kind of mocking how good he is. And he only gets hit by car like it's his kryptonite. So we're trying to, every action scene, we're trying to, build up, and yes, it may seem a little brutal, but I also...
subjective experience, so I hope that people enjoy what I do. And I guess that's all I can... I love the character, and it's really up to the audience, if the audience enjoys it, then we'll be able to get the resources to, tell the next chapter. In terms of like the level of violence or what it is, I think, I don't know, with the tone of it and the hyper-reality of it, I don't know, man. John Wick is fun.
He's offered $7 million for your life. $7 million is a lot of money, Mr. Wick.
So I guess you have a choice. You want a war? Or do you want to just give me a gun?
Somebody please get this man a gun.